cool. I wasn't sure if you guys were going to do like a separate call-in, where it would be like a side by, but this works perfect if you guys are so close to each other,
Yeah, we've worked together for a really long time, and we've been friends in the music scene for even longer locally. So when we worked together at the old shop, us and two more of our good friends, we all opened the shop together in 2020. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he's a little bit more well-spoken than I am. I'm a little nervous to be on a podcast. So
that's fun. Why is that though? I was curious. I was like, when you said it, dude, I'm kind of nervous, and I was like, well, because I know like you're charismatic from where it comes to as far as like with your clients and everybody. And is it just like the aspect of like recording? Is that what it is?
I guess like it's a whole I would say like a little bit of the imposter syndrome, a little bit of the
sure
about on that level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just keep like busy putting my work out and not really like getting into like the politics and stuff of it. But it's nice to be able to talk about that openly with another artist as well.
I really wanted to stand unbiased and just kind of have people throw their perspectives so that it's more like insight, because for the most part you can tell in the industry which artists are more so like with that same mentality or driven by that same sense of like keeping tradition.
Brian and I both started like in the Trenton area. So predominantly like, when I first started tattooing, we weren't in the same shop or in the same area. It was like a lot of culture, and it was really rad. It was like a good way to get started and learning all kinds of skin, working with different skin tones and just like how.
Well, it's quite the melting pot too in that area, right? There's like diverse, yeah. That's awesome.
It's a good area where we are. We're close to Philly, close to Trenton, close to New York, close to the mountains, close to the beach. So
it's nice to be like pretty much like an hour to 2 hours away from everything.
Gotcha. Welcome everybody back to Tattooing Out Loud podcast. Today we have a 2-for-1 special with old boys from the East Coast. Go ahead and give us your guys' name, describe your style, how long you guys been tattooing, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
I'm Shane Bonham. My handle on Instagram, which is my main portfolio, is Shane B Tattoos. Our shop is Through Being Cool Tattoo. I've been tattooing for about 18 years. This shop's been open for almost 5 officially now. I like pretty much all like illustrative style tattooing. I like big fan of like traditional, neo-traditional black work. I love Japanese. I started loving Japanese, like more of like a new school like version of Japanese when I first started tattooing, and now I'm kind of like falling into bringing a lot of stuff that I learned with more traditional style tattooing. Anything shy of like super hyper realism, I love to do, and just I think it changes with the week what I consider myself like my favorite style. But if it's got an outline, if it's bold, if it's got some dimension, I like to do it.
Brian Mock. My Instagram is bmock tattoo. Been tattooing, I think 12 years, somewhere on there. I think just like traditional-ish is where I land. So I keep a lot of the basics of traditional, but like weave in illustrative and kind of like that kind of stuff in with it. And I like to use a lot of different like color schemes rather than just like red, yellow, green, blue.
The primaries,
But yeah, we've been here for almost 5 years. And then before this, we worked at a shop together. And then before that, we were like at a shop near each other. So we've always passed.
That's quite the time frame to open a shop, 2020, because you guys were like in the midst of it all. We all were, but
the way that it happened was really interesting because it was the lockdown happened on a Wednesday, and that Friday we were supposed to sign the lease for this place, and we were just like we hit the landlord up, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll just hold it for you. We'll see how it pans out." And like in the beginning, no one knew how it was going to pan out. We thought it was going to be like a week or two. We were going to be like. We got here, we signed the lease, and we started working on the shop, and we were open maybe like September of that year.
Did your guys' health department give you the green light, or were you guys kind of waiting on a lot of that?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, we were really waiting on the health department to. Well, our laws are really lax as well. Like Pennsylvania's especially, like we're not overseen by anybody.
Oh, okay.
It's the Wild West out here. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of outlaw out there, huh?
Yeah, we're not.
The hair
like,
salon. Yeah, you guys, we're all like hand in hand with it. I remember that.
Are you? Do you have to have a license and everything?
Oh yeah. So out here they try to, you know, where it's so far where I've traveled that it's been very strict is Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon is very like you do not show up into the state to tattoo unless you've been cleared, kind of thing.
Yeah, they're like keep Portland weird, but like have a license and shit.
Exactly. I think you know which is dope. There's a huge like in Eugene area. There's in Portlandish. A lot of artists came together to almost create this like unified system where they're like, hey, let's enforce it. So it was enforced because the artist pushed it. Because I remember guest spotting and it's like, or even doing a convention in Oregon, you had to have everything cleared and then for them to tell you, okay. And you know, I ran into that issue in Philly one time at the convention.
Philly strict, yeah. That's the only place.
Philly,
that's strict.
Right. Imagine how many health inspectors they had walking around to cover every single booth. And they were trying to be as organized as possible. But I mean, I think our inspector didn't show up until like Saturday.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Like they were still doing some Saturday and people already damn near been tattooing all day Friday.
Yeah, it was weird. Like you need to scramble, and then finally the health inspector comes in, and you're like, "Yeah, whatever." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, right.
It's the largest convention in like the world too, so it's not.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest ones, dude. It's pretty crazy. Did you guys do that one recently, or?
No, we just. Well, Shane didn't, but I just did Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it was the New England tattoo convention. It was cool. Okay. It was awesome. But like even there was like 2 health inspectors for the whole convention.
Right. Yeah.
And like it was the easiest check I've ever gotten. Like they walked in, they were like, "Oh, okay," and then like left.
Do you guys hear from it in your area? Like a lot of the guys are working in garages or houses. That's very common, obviously, right? Like
yeah.
It's gonna happen tenfold with social media. Oh, you got a scratch tattoo? Cool, I'll fix it. It's gonna cost you.
Yeah, I'll just fix the shit, you know?
Yeah. Right. It kind of goes around and comes into your guys' shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's so flooded. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's tenfold out there as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, everywhere I feel like different demographics of the states, like, you know, whether it's city and especially with all this increase of supplies, increase of whatever, like our overhead is jacked up a little bit and it's hard to break that down to clients, especially for those riders that have been with us since like day one. They come into the shop and they're like, you know, you got to try to tell them, you know, I know a lot of people will say it's hard when your client, you start building this relationship and they're a lot closer and then you're kind of hard to be like, but they should also respect the fact that if they want to support the artist, you know, it's like whatever they feel like something's worth, right?
Yeah, there's like definitely clients that I've had for 10 years that they've been with me since the beginning, and I'm like, are you like, I see the stuff I did on them 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh, you still want me to tattoo you? That's fucking okay. That's cool. Yeah, I love that. But there's like a couple of them that I still charge like old prices to, and but they, you know, they break me off. It's still cool, you know.
It's like a lot of clients become friends. I'm sure you deal with the same thing, and friends understand that, you know, personally our families are growing, the cost of living's going up, so our prices are going to have to go up.
Yeah.
And I feel like at least since like the COVID days and stuff, like I haven't had much, you know, pushback on anything like raising up prices or like, you know, my hourly, any of that shit. So that's pretty cool.
Well, it's more respectful again. Like it's like your clients. I'm sure you guys are both, since you are able to delegate your clientele and you're able to pick and choose. Like, okay, obviously this client isn't for me if they don't want to support what I do or support this art, or know that, you know, certain things are coming up as far as our, you know, like you said, the cost of things, our families providing it. It's an industry, it's a trade, and we're doing a service. And therefore it's something also that you get to keep, which is kind of mind-boggling to think all those I don't know if you guys ever done this before, like the $13 bangers or something for Friday the 13th. When we first started, we were allowed to, I think one time I did one of those where literally tattoos were like, you know, small little things for flash, but it was literally like at one point just a 31, right?
Yeah.
And to think that we even did that, I'm like, Dude, that's so crazy that we once did that. And, you know, I'm trying to even, my son will ask me, he'll be like, if I came to your shop, what would you charge me for a little happy face? And I'm like, okay, do you want like a straight up like emoji, like yellow in it? No, like 2 dots and a little squiggly, like happy or whatever. And I'm like, well, son, I was like, are you coming in as my son or are you coming in just as a walk-in, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
I'm like, first of all, if you're coming in for my son, you're not 18 yet. So you got to wait, right? If you're coming in as my client, this is the minimum. So I was trying to explain to him the whole thing. Being shop owners, like where you guys went in on it together, did you guys set rules between each other?
I can speak for everybody here. Like going in to our own like shop and like being our first time business owners, but being very well knowledgeable, you know, the industry and all that stuff.
Right.
Like, that step. There's a lot of things that like we learned from maybe like not agreeing with people we've worked for before, or just experiences like good or bad to take with us. But like, you know, we had enough knowledge to do this and know that we're doing the right thing. And then little things like, you know, just opening this place up and being like, all right, man, you got your people, do your thing. The bills get paid, this and that. Like we have employees now. You know, it's pretty lax with them as well, just to make sure that everybody's having a good time. But like, you know, it is a job.
Right.
I think it's like we all trust each other enough to say, like, do whatever you want. Like, do whatever you like even the people that, you know, are here, we do whatever you want. You know what I mean? If you want to come in, come in. If you don't. It's very, very lax. Like, we've been in places that were super strict or like kind of strict. We just didn't really want to do any of that because like you already stress enough in your daily life. Like the last thing that we want is for anybody to stress while they're here. And we've never had anybody take advantage of that either.
That's good.
Which is great, you know?
Yeah.
But we kind of do like vet people a little bit before we have them come on, like do a guest spot. And it's a lot about personalities with our, and everybody kind of gels really, really nicely.
It is nice. We're good friends and very similar in like how we approached our art and how we actually like just like communicate with our clients and our friends before we started this venture. And so everything on that end of opening this place up was very organic. And it's like, it wasn't so much learn as you go. It was more like, this is how we do it and it's working.
Yeah.
So like I remember working for other people and being like, all right, well, you got to be there. I don't care if there's an appointment or not. Like, and then you're closing up at this time, and I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs for 4 hours, being like, dude, I would never do this to somebody, you know?
Right.
Because, and then, you know, the other end of that is like when it does get a little bit busier, we get more, you know, the economy kind of turns around and we get a little bit of a rush. Like the people who work for us or just us in general, who all have families to go home to, will be like, all right, well, there's money coming in the door. I want to be here.
Yeah.
I don't, it doesn't feel like I'm being like pulled or like just demanded to do something when I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like kind of punk rock feeling to
yeah. No, I love that because that definitely gives me the vibe where the roots of, you know, that it's like you want to go somewhere, it's a fun spot, and you want a facility basically to do this, you know, create this process. And I was really curious. I wanted to pick your guys' brain as far as coming together as business owners or coming together to open up this spot and just be like, hey, let's just have a dope spot where my buddy Matt, the other day we were together and we're talking, he's from Milwaukee, Matty Darkside. Do you guys know Matty?
Oh, I do know him. Yeah.
He described his shop similar to what I get from your guys' shop. It's like a treehouse. You know, it's like a fun treehouse where it's like a hangout. We got music going on, good music, good jams, banging out some dope art.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was very, that's like a classical thing. I mean, that's a tattoo shop where there are different avenues that people approach opening the shop and like want to run this business as far as, you know, with the business more so as, instead of actually the environment being this welcoming, you know, the flash or let's do this fun stuff. Let's do these events. Let's do these like specials or whatever and keep that, you know, motivation and almost like that great momentum of you guys just having a good, to go to the spot and being like, yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Just killing it every day. You know what I mean? How many guys are there? Yeah.
I think that a lot of people that worry too much about the business aspect of things, like, can get so caught up in it that, like, that's when problems start, you know? Like, with us, it's like,
Right.
everybody's happy to be here. We're all happy to be here. Like, and since we're happy to be here, like, the business runs really well. It's not super difficult. But I've worked at places that are just like so by the book that it's like the turnaround was insane. Like, everybody that's here has been here for a long time.
Right.
So yeah, it's just easy peasy.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't work out the way it is, we'd have to reassess. But what we did was we opened this place up and we were like, all right, well, this is like what we want to do and how we want to do it. And I mean, like, we just wanted to have a cool spot to do our tattoos with our clients and build our clientele and stuff. And what turned out of it, like, I guess the way we approach it and how we look at it, like, I'm speaking for all our partners, everybody here, is that, man, I don't think a day goes by where people don't compliment the vibe, the overall, like, everybody's just happy to be here. It's a clean shop. It's a nice shop. It's nice stuff to look at. And just the whole feeling that, like, you know, I remember at 42 years old going into a tattoo shop around this area at 18. If it wasn't a biker, it was a skinhead.
Yeah. Right.
And I'd never felt welcome. I mean, that was cool back then, having that little bit of fear. I think that's why I got into hardcore music too. But
That's
Hell
like,
yeah, dude.
yeah. But
That's
like,
real cultural,
now that I'm
really
a
roots.
dad and an old man, it's like, like, cool art, dude. You don't have to like feel like you shouldn't be here, you know?
yeah.
Right,
Now,
right.
make people feel comfortable. Back when I was 18, I was like, oh, I'm fucking a little scared.
It definitely made me love this, but it's
Right.
totally I'm not now.
No, yeah, I remember being a kid and seeing you know, just next to this barbershop I used to get haircuts, just next door two ladies owned this shop and it was straight like checker floor, flash, that black and gray, maybe like 3 colors on the wall of like the small, like with numbers, something out of a Van Damme movie or something, right? You're just thinking like, it's so crazy though, that perspective of it was once the stigma that followed was that hard and tough facility environment deal that you're gonna walk into this establishment and it's like you're either a biker, a gangbanger, or fresh out. All the artists must be fresh out, you know.
Yeah, like especially like, you know, even like not very long ago in Trenton, you know, in the Trenton area working there. It's like cool, you know what I mean? But you know, you definitely have to look around your back, like watch your back more than probably every day. Like, you know,
for sure.
The shop I worked at in Trenton is like one of the older shops. It's not there anymore. It burnt down. Well,
oh no, that sucks.
It got burnt down. Let's be specific about that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But it had been there for a really long time, and like I would hear a lot of like crazy stories about how it was very small, and they were like, yeah, well, we have beef with this other shop down the road, and so everybody kept hammers at their stations, and I was like, oh shit, what's that? They're like, oh, well, if you keep guns at your station, you're going to catch strays, and your homies that you're working with might catch a stray.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot your boy. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, why do that?
Got hammers hanging on the sides of their stations.
Get it like in a cool holster, you know? Like
yeah, it pops off.
Yeah. That's wild. What year was that when you worked there?
Sheesh. 2012, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I started there then, but that shop has been open since like the
right
80s, 90s. Like it was old shop.
Sure. So then, I guess back to the whole like background. How did you guys each get into tattooing? Like, what was your guys' first experience getting exposed into tattoos, especially coming up at these different times and generations or whatever? And like, you guys, what was your first kind of? Was it like from the punk rock and like the music, and then seeing that, hanging out with the boys, and then going to go get these like tattoos and just becoming that whole rebel straight up? Like, so how did you guys get into all that?
Yeah, I think honestly, punk and hardcore.
Okay.
For me was what kind of pulled me into it. Like my dad and my mom both had tattoos, which for anybody in like the 80s and 90s was already a little weird.
Yeah.
But they maybe hung out with some nefarious characters. So,
sure.
Yeah, and then punk and hardcore kind of pulled me into it and solidified it for me. Yeah,
it was kind of a like trying to find yourself at 15 and 17 years old,
right?
And all of a sudden, like all these dudes are screaming about shit that you agree with, and then they all have tattoos, and it's the coolest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all these years later, still is. My father was a biker, so he was
cool.
fairly heavily tattooed for definitely like the 80s and 90s. So it was never something that wasn't cool. I grew up poor, so like the biker parties and all that shit. So it was like really cool to be around, I guess, that lifestyle as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I started finding myself, and like it was just like grunts in a different lifestyle. You know what I mean? Like I just remember seeing like a H2O or an MXPX video. I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to put a hole in my lip and put pictures on my arm.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's similar, man. Especially getting exposed to like a lot of that. Well, your guys' area too. The punk scene was huge, yeah. Like they had and the hardcore scene because some amazing bands come out of the East Coast.
Yeah, we're very lucky. We're very lucky to be right outside of Philly, and just even like close to New York, Jersey. Yeah, some of the best punk hardcore bands in the world are from Jersey, dude.
Like even our like very specific like county, like A Life Once Lost, This Day Forward, Circa Survive, like all those bands are from our county. Like
that's so crazy, dude. Well, I mean, I know you guys have that opportunity to go catch this show. It's equivalent to myself living like in the Bay Area or LA and just seeing like these dope bands kind of tour through. But I see a lot of guys just tour East Coast because it is like, they don't care to travel way too far out west, but they stay off East Coast, maybe touch a little bit of that like Illinois or something. But like Trapped Under Ice, those guys were in Terror. Like for Terror to come out here, everybody would show up, drive 3 hours. We're going to go see Terror. We're going to go see like, Lionheart is Bay Area, but they would come around to the Central Valley a lot. But that's similar thing, getting into bands, playing the music, getting these guys, being surrounded by this all these guys that are into that similar, like the influence and the music. That's literally what I saw first. Also, I was like, man, the tattoos, and people ask me, and I'm like, dude, I was just around it, and I, went in.
I think that anybody can vouch. Like, are you close to our age?
Yeah, so I'm 36. Yeah, a little younger. Yeah,
anybody can vouch for our generation. It's like you go to your first punk or hardcore show, and you fucking run, or you're like, this is it. That's a wrap. I'm gonna be here. This is me now. So, I mean, and it just happened to the right time, the right place, the right look,
for sure.
Right sound, and I'm going to a show tonight. You know what I mean?
Did you guys apprentice in these at different areas too? Right? Because you apprenticed in Jersey more, or like Shane, where did you?
Yes, it's a loose term.
It's a loose term.
Yeah, it's kind of right. I know. I get it. Yeah.
The Trenton, Hamilton area, which is right outside of Trenton.
Dope.
And that artist and owner moved over the river to the Pensy side, and that's where like I was at my first established shop many moons ago.
Many moons ago, yeah. What year was that when you first started the apprenticeship?
I would say probably 2000. Fuck, it's always maybe 8.
Oh, dope. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then really established at a shop, like built my way up, stepping stone, probably the better part of 15 years ago.
Oh, wow.
I really okay, I was like learning from professionals. Rest in peace, Spare.
Sure. Actually, you're indulge in it. Yeah. So you guys apprentice, but you guys obviously apprentice in different shops, though, right? Like, So what about you? Yeah.
Other, like we're in bands back in the day. We'd play shows together, but we knew.
So you guys knew each other. You guys knew each other before you guys tattooed, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Friends too. Even if we weren't super tight back then, we had all the same friends.
That's just cool.
Sure. Same crowds. Yeah.
At least everybody knows everybody. Yep.
Right.
Honestly, he started tattooing before I did, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude, that's cool. I wish I could do that." And then I started I got my apprenticeship, and Shane was going to do a guest spot at the shop that I was working at.
Oh, dope.
And I was like, "Oh man," I was like, "That's tight." And because he was like doing the thing I wanted to do, I was like, I looked up to him a little bit, It's like, And now we own a shop together. Shit's weird, dude.
Now he
That
fixes
is
all-
wild, huh? Yeah, that's cool. I feel like that is what gives it that really nice camaraderie of that community, I should say, in your guys' shop, and
Mhm.
same headed mindset, and common grounds. Dude, it's like a whole ass marriage, dude.
But
Yeah,
it works really well with us, and I feel like just saying it concretely now with you, because it's kind of going with the flow.
yeah,
But like it is like it's awesome, and it's like it never had to step back and be like, are we doing this the right way? You know what I
Sure.
mean? Work for
Yeah.
it just does organically, yeah. Because when it comes down to it, we're all like established artists. We're all, I hate to say it, but middle aged with families and shit. But the same like what we want out of this, and then what we want to take home with us, and
it's
yeah,
very rare.
very blessed to be like, yeah, dude, it works very well for us.
Yeah, it's very rare, man.
Like just saying it to you, honestly, like just past traumas with like shitty shop owners, or just not being happy with at established shops that but like, oh, am I good enough to move on to this and that? But it's just like it's really nice to know that, like, taking a step to do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it went out very well and organically, and and then the economy's getting pretty crappy again, but like everything's like we're doing well for a slow season. We're doing everything.
People are still spending money. Like, it's actually really cool to see these guys that want to sit down for like the 600 plus sessions. You know what I mean? And especially in this time frame where it's a tough thing, and I get it. And I'll even tell clients, like, don't stress about it. If I try everything I can to deflect the whole price topic, and just being like, dude, let's just see what you want to get. Let's get you what you want to get. And if we have to, let's just break it in sessions. If it's easier on your wallet, easier on your,
And it's like, it's something that comes up with money and stuff. You know what I mean? Let's keep an open line of communication, but like your skin's not going anywhere.
For sure.
Life happens, shit happens. But like, like just the communication's everything. Like, I mean, like these like, morning of cancels or this and that. And it's like, all right, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, well, it's not like we're not on the same page here. I don't think they're outwardly respecting my time and my money and my family.
Yeah.
But like that happens like a lot more rare, or I don't let it get to a point where it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I know that one of the topics that you wanted to talk about is like any kind of like advice for like younger artists.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's funny, like I wanted to get into that, not to break anything up.
No, you're good, yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it. It's like we're talking about the slow season, and like there's probably a lot of young artists that started tattooing very recently, like with COVID and stuff.
Very recently, yes.
Yeah, dude, right after COVID, it was like, yo.
Skyrocket, dude.
Yeah, crazy.
But then these kids don't know. These young people don't know the ebbs and flows of the economy of and it's something that, like, as much as I think I do or do not know when it comes to this business, it's like I've been here.
Yeah,
and it's like you can sit there and you can let that like be a problem, or you could just go with the flow and just know that, like, save your money.
Mm-hmm.
Create these relationships, because that really helps.
Yeah,
really,
sure.
Don't like don't just treat them as a number. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And the money will keep coming in, and they'll keep coming back.
Have you guys ever experienced that in previous shops where certain artists do have that mindset of turn and burn mentality?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, where I worked in Trenton was so transient.
Sure.
People would come and go there so fast, and like, even with clients, they would just be like, not really care if they ever saw the client again, or just like doing stuff for the day, and spending money like they were gonna die tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
I'm just like, I've never been like that, because I grew up poor, so I'm like always like, I still have that mentality of like, hey, dude, you could be poor again tomorrow.
Yeah,
so
absolutely comes and goes, bro.
Yeah. So I save and save and save, but it's just, and we all have those like golden clients too that are like, you'll post on Instagram like, yo, I got time, and they'll just be like, yo, I'm coming in.
Jump right on, yeah.
And with that good back and forth, and like you don't want a client to treat you like you're doing them sort of like or like you want a client to treat you like, oh, they're just using you for a tattoo. You're just that middle ground. So you don't want to treat a client like they're just a reason to make money. It goes hand in hand. So you can't complain one and not do the other. But it helps a lot.
How did you guys learn all this concept? Like, how did you guys just pick it up from the goods and bads and like kind of like taking notes from this career, this up to now?
I do feel like getting older, having more experience, like we talked about, like why we got into the business. You know what I mean? What we thought, like there was like we were young people getting into something that we thought was cool. And if I'm speaking for myself personally, the thing that keeps this thing really fresh and beautiful for me now is deeper than that. Of course, it's fucking cool and punk rock.
Absolutely.
Still. But like these connections, these back and forth, these like therapy sessions, whatever. Like you don't have to be that way. For me personally, like that keeps it like, oh man, like I still love what I do, and I'm finding new reasons why I love what I do. Like whether it's a memory piece, or if it's just like, you know, something as simple as I tattooed a new grandpa today. For sure. And, you know, just got his granddaughter's name and an anime character for her, and it's just like I developed a friendship with him, and he's pictures of him crying with his grandkid on his shoulder all day.
Dude.
I love to be that little man. It's keeping me loving what I do, and it doesn't feel like a job still. So
right. And that's a side of all these factors in life too, because I mean, we still have to have this discipline, but you know, the discipline as far as, once you become a provider versus being this rancid kid where you have no, like these responsibilities or.
That's one thing, age and just becoming a father. It's like, dude, like I have my father's temper. Yeah. I do have like a heated side. It's far gone, but we do deal with people, and a lot of people are trash. You know, that's why the ones that aren't are great. But like, it's you deal with people. You're going to see the best, but you're going to see the worst.
For sure,
and especially on a person or like on such an intimate level as we are with getting into the trust process of letting your guard down to the strangers mark their body. So like, you know, there's a lot of cool stuff comes with that, but like, you know, you're gonna see the worst of them too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Figuring out how to deal with that and like not, you know, remember the good stuff. You know, I think it does. If you have a good outlook on it definitely turns around, and you know, it does all the speaking for you. You know, right. It keeps the people like, you know, keeps the name with all good reviews, all good like artwork, and
the rep.
Loving being here. So
I had to like learn a thing or two about good customer service because I wasn't always good at that.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of us weren't, you know.
In the past 5 years, I got really good at it, but like 8 years ago, probably not great at it.
Yeah, dude, like homie level, just because it's my buddy that I care about. And it's like, yeah, man, like you don't think that you just have this face right now. And like, you can have that face, but like strangers who don't know you, who are talking like, maybe like, you know, and then just seeing how, well, kind of have to now, you know, you're one of the bosses and stuff, and you're, you know, speaking for yourself, not for, you know, and for your shop. Yeah. And just the growth in that, just like, just being self-aware of that, and something that like, you're just being yourself. You didn't know how that, you know, that's going to affect other people. Right. And just seeing that in Brian, and there's other things with, you know, other coworkers and employees, just seeing that their growth too. It's just fucking, again, it's organic. It's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it is also like with you guys working together. I'm sure, Shane, you've seen Brian do some things with like something that you can absorb and take in as a positive thing, and also like give him his flowers, like that recognition, right? The credibility. Giving someone credit and just being like surrounded about that, but also being able to take in that constructive criticism, because I mean, you guys are evolving your styles, right? Yeah. For this, 5 years now, you guys have been working together. Brian also soaking up game from Shane. You guys have worked conventions and you learned to develop that mouthpiece to be able to lock in people with the fact that they actually vibe with you. And it's like, this is my artist. Out of 800 booths, out of 200 booths, you know, maybe 1,600 artists or whatever, I choose this guy to be my artist. That's such an honor, bro. It's wild to think about it sometimes, you know?
That's the biggest compliment, is like I just did that New England convention, and I was busy pretty much the whole time, like, which is amazing.
Did you take any returning clients, or was it any new people? Like,
no,
oh, wow.
I for the most part, whenever I go to a convention, especially when I've been to before, because this was the first time for that one, I just do walk-ups. I don't like book appointments, and I did walk-ups the whole time. I put my little sketchbook out there, and I did just stuff from my line book, which was amazing.
That's awesome, dude.
No one showed me their phone, not once the whole time.
It's lovely.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I took a little step back personally from conventions. Like that's how we met many years ago.
A long time ago, dude. Do you remember what year that was?
Was it in Philly?
It might have been Philly, dude. I think we were like across from each other.
Yeah.
Or somewhere like adjacent somewhere, dude.
We've been friends for a really long time. It's cool, like actually bullshitting with you. You know?
That's why, dude. I was like, bro, like I gotta get. And then there's another buddy that from Ohio, same thing. We've all met just on the road. Starting this project, I didn't want to just keep it to the artists around me. Mm-hmm. I wanted to I want to just sit down and just talk, man. The industry, your come up, everybody has a story. Let me document when I started. Let me document what I've been through, what I think about this, right? And everyone has this stories that I'm like, every artist, man, they, for the most part, and then that's like another generational shift that, a lot of us had this outcast, this thing was calling us, right? Yeah. Because of identity issue, like you mentioned, or because I feel like to this day, our style could have identity issue. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I don't know what I'm trying to push. I know I want to make something of it, right?
Imposter syndrome is still real.
Right. You know? But what's nice though, that you guys as people though, like the personality and characteristics is like, that's the most authentic, organic thing. Yeah. But it's funny because when you're trying to project as far as your tattooing, your artwork, the not trying to fall into some trend, not trying to, you obviously, because I mean, before you guys worked together, I'm sure we're getting exposed to the trending things, but then there's things that we can, pick apart from every single style, whether it's like when you first saw neo-traditional. My first run into a neo-traditional style that was very dark and like very like that twisted its own style was Derek Noble. And that was like, but I was in love with just straight up solid traditional. I thought tattooing was only like, this is what tattooing is to me. Like flash, like traditional flash. And then everything else, I paid no attention to it. I didn't care nothing about the realism, nothing. I was just like, nope, this is what tattooing is to me, right? How did your guys' style evolve from all that?
I only wanted to do new school.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I cared about. Because I like did graffiti and weird monsters and shit. So I was like, oh, obviously, like I'll just do that. And then I kind of fell out of love with it, and then started to go more towards traditional. And I think that was another rebellious thing, because like the shop I worked at, everybody that worked there hated traditional, and I was like, man, fuck you guys. So then I just started doing it. Like,
it really does depend on like obviously like being hungry, loving whatever you're doing, especially when you first got into it, but like just getting experience with people around you. Like,
absolutely,
good artists that I mean, like. Of course, I love black and gray. Of course, I love black work. Of course, I love like I have a newfound love for just flat traditional that I've never done, and it has to be so perfect. You know what I mean? It's just like watching people like pull lines or do like a spicy like organically. It's just like
I can watch that all
do
day.
That. Yeah,
right, dude.
Like those line work videos. I'm just like,
oh yeah, it's so it's a very satisfaction. How did you guys did you guys start painting flash from the to get into the style during apprenticeship? Is that kind of to solidify your style? Like,
I never started painting flash until I started working with the people that we opened the shop with.
Cool.
And so
I would do a lot of color pencils and stuff on my own accord, but then working with more traditional artists, and then learning how to spit shade through them.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like markers, like mostly Copic markers. Like I did a lot of stuff with that, but now all I do is paint.
That's dope. Yeah, you guys stay on it, active on practicing the working that art, right? Like trying to.
Yeah, I give Brian like, man, if I have a slow day, I'm going home. He starts paintings and I'm like, dude, just give me that motivation.
I paint a lot.
Yeah, give me some of that. Yeah,
because I won't make a mess, but Like I give him that, man. It makes me want to physically sit down and paint again because he just utilizes his time very well.
Yeah, that's something also that helps to have those guys around you, especially in a shop like that where, again, man, it's like motivating each other. And Shane, you said that you're getting back into like the Japanese, because like the most recent stuff you've been posting, like a lot of that, dude, it's crazy how I've seen like your, again, like that solid traditional stuff, and then now I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, is this the same guy? You know what I mean?
Dude, he does everything, dude. It's crazy.
That's dope. Stay busy too, like do multiple styles, but like you have to want to, you know what I mean?
For sure.
I think that shading with a 3-round liner is my favorite in the world now. So
yeah, dude, it's dope.
I was doing that 12, 15 years ago, but like I got into it now, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like I try to mix styles. I'm like, well, this will look cool if I, you know, put a little bit of this and then a little bit of black work, but let's do some like crazy new traditional leaves and color and stuff. So I try to kind of like make it my own, but then still kind of like experiment as I'm doing it, you know. And as long as the clients will let me, and I'm lucky enough to do that, have some fun with it.
The freedom, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like try to do a little bit of everything, and maybe not like I really have to like turn my brain off to just do, all right, dude, I'm doing this. Excuse me, I'm tattooing a friend today, and we're doing a flash piece on him. So I'm like, all right, I want to do this differently. I want to like apply this differently. Nope. All right, just turn your brain off. Don't overthink it, Shane. I mean, it could be a great thing, it could be a bad thing, but you know, I definitely like want to just kind of like. I feel like I overthink tattoos in the best way possible and in the worst way possible.
Sure.
The piece.
Dude, not overthinking it. The best thing for me to learn not overthinking it is, you know, the 100 roll.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. I have it. That's so this. Where's that? This up here.
Yeah.
That's the dice tray, and that's the. I got all the books right here. Check it out.
Yeah. So
these are all like get what you get. This is like the and then I got like the 13. Yeah, like the paint roll for like artists where we can do, dude. So I had this thing where I was obsessed with that. It's so genius. But playing that with all the other artists or something and just being like throwing the dice and creating like a chrome spider with like a Hanya.
We did that. Brian initiated that.
Yeah, and it's like put it on your butt, you know?
Right. Well, on, I think it was Facebook called Tattoo Fight Club.
Yeah, Tattoo Fight Club. That thing was popping, dude.
Yeah, it was real big for a minute, and that was super fun to watch people like that you didn't work with, like approach things in a way that like I never would have, like.
Right.
But it's just
when I started seeing like all the like the first of all like the sticker style, right, where it looks like a label.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild. And then the chrome, when they started adding chrome, like a chrome panther, like the Steel Panther, I was like, oh, dude, it's so nuts. Yeah, again, inspiration.
Yeah,
but yeah, those books though, they're like
they're fun.
Like that's what it is. Turn your brain off, do that, and it's great.
This episode is brought to you by Helios Tattoo Supply. If you're ready to restock on supplies, make sure to check out their website. Not only do they have tattoo needles, but they also have their own tattoo inks. They definitely do take care of us as artists, and a huge thanks to them for sponsoring the podcast. Also, thank you to Industry Inks for providing us with some of the brightest pigments that I've used, with a large variety of colors, tones, black and gray sets, black lining ink. If you want to give them a try or already used them before, on your next order, upon checkout, use the promo code OUTLOUD to support the channel and also receive a discount. What was your guys' first traveling experience? Like, when did you guys do your first conventions? Because I'm assuming it was like separate, right? Or did you guys do your first one together?
No, here and there.
But you did before me, right?
I did Philly mostly. That was it with the first couple shops I worked with. And then when we all got together before we opened the shop up, we did, I don't think you did it, but we did West Virginia.
I didn't do that one.
That's a cool show too.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think I do, excuse me, the least amount of conventions out of everybody here now.
Yeah.
My first one was Wildwood, New Jersey.
Wildwood's always good.
Wildwood, yeah.
Wildwood's cool because, like, well, it's summer, but like people still get tattooed in the summer. But like the convention center is huge.
Yeah.
And people just want to throw money at you. But like, I had a really good time last time I worked it. and I got to hang out with a couple of really rad artists, and then get in a couple contests, which I don't really care either way, but it was nice to be up there for that.
Right. Just to be part of it. Yeah.
It's a lot. There's a lot of breathing space in Wildwood. It's like as big as Philly, but not as cramped.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's on the beach. Who doesn't love the beach, dude? You know?
Right.
Yeah. The New England one was the furthest one that I did. That was 3.5 hours from us. But then I did one last year in October called Hocus Pocus.
It's
yeah.
It's
like a
I've heard of that one
type of convention. That was super dope.
That's awesome.
Everyone decorated their booths, and there was like contests for booth decoration.
Oh, sure. They've been starting to do that to a lot of these little smaller conventions.
Yeah.
Dude.
We do like Asbury Park every year. We've done it every year since we opened. Yeah. And that's one I definitely do every summer. It's more of a like a smaller DIY type of convention. It's gonna be a little bit bigger this year, I think. I think it's in a bigger venue, but fucking really awesome. Asbury Park, if you're ever on the East Coast, dude, it's the best.
I wanted to tell you, man, like hopefully maybe after, was it July, a lot of my schedule will open to start really, I mean, I guess we could start planning now, but I would love to like booth in, bunk with you guys in the shop and just kind of like do a East Coast show. That'd be so fun, man. Do you guys remember your first booth setups? Like, were you guys pushing the flash, pushing the like to create this whole like your presentation of your booth?
Mine was so minimal. Like I had prints and flash.
Okay, selling prints, yeah.
Yeah, which like I still have a couple, but I only bring like 3 different ones. And then really it's just like my flash book. Dope. And then stickers. I don't put a lot out because I want people to focus on the flash. I don't even bring a portfolio anymore, like ever.
Oh, cool.
Here's my Instagram.
Yeah, like if people want to check the Instagram out, but mostly people will just look at the flash book and be like, "That I want to get that." I'm like, hell yeah.
Have you ever made copies of your book, or you just kind of did one to just present?
We did. Me and Sue, that we also own the shop with, me and her did a collab book. We did like 40 pages, 20 each. Nice. And we sold those. I think we sold out of them, but we only made like maybe 40. Wow. Something like that. But we brought them to conventions and people bought them, and seeing my stuff get tagged from other artists is pretty neat.
Through Being Cool, the name of that, does it translate with TCB also?
So we,
because I know it's like the TBC, but I was like, there it is. Yeah,
we got the bolt tattooed. We got tattooed each other.
Yeah, I got one on my leg. I can't pull my leg up, but
we got TBC instead of TCB.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yo, that's so tight.
When we opened, we all got it at the same time, and we all pulled at least one line of each person's tattoo.
Oh, sick!
From
each other's machines, which it's a fucking
blood ritual. Yeah.
Not how I set up my machine at all. But it was quite the bonding experience.
Yeah, so. And I think Keith was still really using coils at the time or something, like, because me and Shane pretty much use rotaries from like for a long time. Like me, pretty much my whole career. For me to pick up a coil machine, it's like picking up fucking Thor's hammer, dude. What's
crazy?
So heavy.
What setup do you guys use now? Like, what's your guys' go-to?
I use an Ambition.
Okay. All right. No way.
Shit in the world. I love it so much.
What is it? What kind of, because I've seen they had like it's funny, that's a legit like a supply company.
Dude, it's amazing.
It's just, dude, there's a lot of people that are now opening shops in Amazon. Like I think Tat Soul has a shop on Amazon.
No shit.
Or it might be someone that, because I was trying to get like the second skin, like the Sanoderm or the Derm Shield or whatever. And you see the sub store and it's always like, it's an actual like, and I'm like, what? And we had a conversation about this, about some companies are selling into these where it's almost like Amazon isn't going to ask you for your tattoo license number.
No. Yeah.
And it's like,
I don't love it. Like, honestly, like I got the Ambition because they're legit, like they're just a Chinese company, like, but they have their stuff on Amazon. But for me, like there's certain supply companies that I don't buy from because they used to be tattoo owned. And then they sold it to bankers.
So some corporate,
like love that. I'm not gonna call anyone out, but I just
that's a huge tug of war, right? Right.
like Josh Sherman and be like, "Hey, don't spend $1,000 on the machine. Try this ambition machine." I'm like, of course I'm gonna fucking.
Yeah, like
Yeah, right. Yeah.
and like I have like an anvil that I use that's
Cool.
from what's his name, Jason, JD or something. He's a guy from England that makes machines, and they're amazing.
Yeah, I've heard of Anvil. Yeah,
Governor, and something.
Governor. Yeah.
Pretty much those two. Yeah.
Most of the time before I start just doing pens, I would have I had that Mojo box,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
everything with that, and have it set up with the Cuban Mojo box, and have it set up with cards. But now it's mostly the Bishop ones. I have a Numa machine. I'm trying to steal Keith's Numa machine that I'm using on him. But
Nice.
mostly my Bishops. I like them a lot. They're pretty.
Yeah.
They're, yeah, I could do everything with them. I could do a lot with just the liner, but yeah, I'm pretty dainty in my old age with the lightweight pen machine. If it didn't work,
preserve that hand. Yeah.
My wife, back when she used to like me, she would give me massages at the end of the day,
Sure.
and I was like, "Wow, I had no idea my hand was this sore."
That
She don't
jacked up.
massages anymore like that in my old age. So these light
What's
ass.
I was curious, what's the culture like in your area, like as far as Philly, New Jersey, and the tattoo culture? Like, do you guys still see a lot of that competitive? Because you mentioned back at the last shop where it's like, oh, you had beef with this shop. What's it like as far as is there a community? Would you say there's like
I fully believe that competition happens at the bottom. I don't believe in competition. I think it's silly. I think that there's enough out there for everybody, you know?
Sure.
Like I do something different than this guy does. So, yeah, I'm not competitive with any shop or any other artist. I think it's weird.
Right.
But I've never had that like mentality of like, I got to win all the time.
Sure. Try to hold some throne or something. Yeah.
The good artists around here too, and I'm talking specifically the suburbs. We're far away enough from the city to like, not be on each other. Well, we're on each other's radar, but not like super worried. But like the good artists around here, like we're all tight. We all have like a spoken, unspoken respect for each other. We share clients.
Yeah.
And the crappy ones, you're gonna have them. Like they are what they are. And yeah, like what Brian said, like maybe in competition with myself, just to better myself.
Yeah.
If I have a homie that's doing tattoos on the same client, it's a really awesome tattoo. I'm like, all right, well, I got to set my game up.
Yeah.
All love.
Just helps you, right? All love.
It's always been weird to me when there's these artists that are like so like proprietary over clients. They're like, oh, you went to somebody else? Like, what you're cheating on? Like,
I hear that, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm like, there's no such. They'll try to tell you, yeah.
I'm just happy to be here and do that little piece of skin on you. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what that says about me, but I'm totally okay with that. Like I don't have to tattoo everybody.
We all have clients that come in here that have been tattooed by every single person in the shop.
Wow, that's dope.
Like, that's cool. That's super awesome.
Super rad.
Yeah?
It's a collection, dude. It's collecting a piece, man.
I've literally worked at shops before where, like, it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
A coworker or a boss, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry. They came to me.
Yeah.
But
dude, Brian, did you ever have a graffiti book where you would have others like draw on it?
Yeah. I don't.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I didn't, but I would go out. I mean, I always went out and tagged with my friends and shit.
All right.
And like, I did a lot more stickers and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, like slaps and stuff, yeah. Because I used to go to different shops and like drop my black book with an artist and be like, hey man, do you mind? When I was in my apprentice stage, I used to go around shops and I was collecting legit drawings from different artists, man. And I was collecting because I picked that up from the graffiti. And I know you mentioned you did a lot of graph, and I was like, I wonder if you had like a graph book.
No. I never even thought to do that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was like, I was, apprenticing, and I remember just thinking like, I'm gonna go see if I want to start collecting these. Just have somebody, even if they had like their name or a rose or something. Some guy did like an eye, like his own style. Yeah. And I was just like, I would go pick it up. He would just call me like, hey man, I did your book up, and I thought it was dope that these artists were down to like, just put a little something in the book. And I meant to do nothing with it other than I just wanted to collect. That was my way of opening up opportunities and like making connections, because I had that mindset also where it's like, dude, you got to prospect, you got to get out there and really expand. You can't just be stuck with the confines of your own shop, and you have to really, especially the road, man. The road showed you that a lot.
Oh yeah. I was just talking about that. Like always get so inspired when I do shows because it's like,
you come back amped.
Yeah, you get to see so many different things, like stuff that I'm not necessarily into, but that is really cool. Like I don't really ever seek that out because it's like not on my algorithm,
Sure, yeah.
But at a show, I'm like, oh wow, like look at that shit, like that's a gnarly, like, yeah, it's a really cool environment to be in.
That's cool, man.
I don't do much conventions anymore. I think just from like having the home base of our own shop and becoming a father, I don't travel as much as
right.
I don't really want to as much, obviously. Yeah. But man, I do miss that you guys are saying. The motivation after a really good weekend, away from your comfort zone, around other tattooers, other people doing their thing. Man, it's like, it definitely it revives you, it puts fuel in the tank.
It's a refuel for sure.
Absolutely.
I feel like that says something about me too, though. Like conventions, especially like Friday, are always a little uncomfortable.
Right.
And I feel like when I first started going to punk and hardcore shows, I was a little uncomfortable. And when I started going to tattoo shops, I was a little uncomfortable.
There's always that discomfort. Yeah.
I think I thrive in that, like just being a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's like I'm at my best when I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, it says
a lot. Little bit
I'm very aware that I'm uncomfortable, but I think I love it.
Yeah.
Right. When you guys started to see the success in your own tattoo and your own guys's, like you guys are each your own business in a sense, right? Like you guys are the business. What did you guys do as far as, or how did you start really visualizing this whole, like the success or this return, the reward over this risk? Because we all had to be risk takers, especially for both you guys to be like, let's go in on a shop. This is a whole new building. What's the overhead? Before we get into that second, like I was curious, Brian, when you were leaving the last shop, did you guys both like talk about opening this new location, or like what did you guys work together there also, and you just branched out?
Yeah, that talk came organically after years of working together.
Yeah,
you guys needed your own. You guys felt like your own space was kind of like in the works.
Yeah, I think it was just time. I think that we had like worked in a few places and looked around, and we were like, we could do this,
Right.
Then we talked about it like half joking at first, like
Sure.
Ha 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 ha, wouldn't it be funny if? And then it was like, no, but like seriously, like we could do that.
Yeah.
And then I think it was just like knowing it was gonna work. Like
sure.
Just going into it knowing that it was gonna succeed.
Granted, not knowing the climate was gonna be with having a business, because again it was 2020.
Right. And scary.
We're waiting for everything gets shut down again, or if we'll ever like go full. You know what I mean?
What's to come? Yeah.
I'm not a very confident person, in any aspect of my life, honestly. Maybe with being a good dad.
Sure.
Myself, but like I was so confident. I was like, I don't know what's the future's gonna hold, but we're gonna do this. This is gonna work out really well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of doubt from every corner of the partnership, just because you had to have it. It was a new venture for all of us. None of us were a business owner before. We're all like veteran tattoo artists.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Like, we can do that part. We can invest money, we can invest our time and our craft into this, but can we do this?
Yeah.
And there's if you don't know, you don't have the experience, but like, fucking it's the best move we ever made.
Yeah. I'm like a big numbers guy too. Like I like the business aspect of everything. Like before we even opened, like I was like running numbers and like figuring.
Yeah. Realistically, you tangibly need to see this. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I would. And then I would show everybody. I'd be like, "Look, this is what we all four of us need to put in every month to stay open." And then everything after that's gravy, And it wasn't like a super high number, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Very
for any of
doable.
us to realistically be able to do. So, yeah, it was like, it was pretty easy to pull the trigger.
How many guys are there at the shop? How did you guys start recruiting them? Is that also because you knew everybody already? Is that what you said earlier? Or?
We all work together. All the owners here.
Yeah,
we
Okay.
all work.
Oh, there's 4 of y'all. That's right.
3 employees. I call them employees. They work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Boy, did we get lucky with our first. It fell in our lap. She's over there eating a banana right now.
Yeah, right on.
I can't tell you how lucky we got with her without sounding like I'm pandering to her unless she's looking at me right now. But something happened where she's like a temporary guest spot while things were going down at another shop, getting fixed and stuff. And I'm not gonna drop any names, but like, you know, it turned like, oh, I got all this trauma from this place, and you guys are good people, so I want to stay here. And we're like, please. And she's an amazing artist. She's a good person.
That's awesome.
Great mom. She's a new mom. So
hell yeah, dude! Congrats! Shout out.
Growing well since she's been here, which is it's all awesome. But like, and then like we're like, oh cool, we can hire people, and people heard of us, reached out to us, you know, and it's all been working out really well for us.
Yeah,
we didn't expect to grow as fast as we did. We were just trying to like kind of like a 4-way like private studio, do our own thing. Nope.
Yeah,
you know, it's the ball's rolling, and you know, people are really like, you know, they like it here, and I don't blame them. I love it here. It's my happy place, and it just happens to be work. But yeah, like the constant like, you know, oh man, you guys just got a good vibe here, or like I really like your floors, I really like how clean the shop is.
I never get sick of hearing it. I tell you.
We just opened this place up for us to do what we wanted to do, how we thought we wanted to do it, and for it just to be like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's successful. You know, we year 5 and we're doing well. You know what I mean? Right. Like for it to happen like the way it did and the way we wanted to do, but still have that effect on outside perspective, the people coming in and experiencing how we're doing what we're doing, is awesome, dude. I can't be more grateful. For the first, I swear to God, for the first 2 years straight, we'd be walking in these doors and being like, dude, this is real. This is fucking. Yeah. We earned this, but holy shit, this is working and this is real. Like, you know, and so like I'm very grateful for that. Like, you know, like, and now it's just like, all right, well, let's just go with the flow. Let's just keep expanding and see where this can go. But you know, I'm getting hungrier. You know, I like it. You know, I like success, building. Yeah,
when you guys first opened, were you guys also with that mindset of what it was like before, as far as like, dude, we need to be in here 24/7 every day. We gotta, because it's starting from scratch. You guys are bringing your clients into this place, but the location. Tell me a little bit about the location as far as your surroundings. Is it like a busy street? Did you guys try to bank on walk-ins, and also like, because that does help expand, obviously.
It's a pretty loaded question too. Again, because of COVID. Right. So when everybody got back from COVID, it was literally wear a mask. Private appointment, one person at a time in each corner of the shop.
That's hard, dude. Think about it.
Yeah. And then me personally, out of the 4 of us that opened it, I was used to at the shop we were at before, just like first one in, last one out, bang, 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 bang. Like, you don't want to take it, I'll take it type of deal. And it turned into something where like we were doing like our like basically private appointments as we opened under the restrictions and stuff, to where like, this works really good with our own schedules and with our schedules with our families at home, and the bills are getting paid. So then, like, we kind of just took the actual hours off the window. We maintain communication with our clients and our new clients. Like, all right, well, like, you know, this is our hours. You know, I mean, it's pretty loose. We do take walk-ins. Definitely way more now. Obviously, we have employees and like we have the time and stuff. But when we first didn't have time.
Well, that too. It was the COVID thing. We all had a backlog of people that wanted to come in. So when we did open up, it's like we have months of appointments already like ready to go. So
and everybody had money.
Yeah, and everybody had money. It wasn't a situation where we needed to be like grinding constantly, because shit was just ready to go. Like it was a strange situation for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking about all that. Like I'm trying to piece it all together. I mean, you guys are. It's not starting a new business, but it is the new location. It's a new building, so you might almost get that like PTSD of starting from scratch.
Yeah, it's 100% PTSD too, because like my corner, I was like, "Hey guys, we need to be here more." And it's like, wait a second, no,
like no, we don't. Yeah,
everyone's got what they need to do, and now that we're all part of this machine, we're not working for this machine. We're the reason this machine exists. Let's do it on all of our levels that works, and that works for our family lives and our lives outside of here. Yeah, Brian's got 35 kids at home, so and he happens.
Yeah, you got a whole village. Yeah,
and location wise, we're in a shopping center, but I like it. There's some mom and pop shops in the shopping center. It's pretty busy. Like this shop like fell in our lap last minute when we were looking for locations before COVID happened, and we were like really trying to plan this out. It was one of the last buildings we looked at, and like we fell in love with it. We put a lot of love into the building, but like we're like 5 minutes from Trenton, 25 minutes from Philly. The bulk of all the heavy traffic, like suburban areas, are right around us, which is great. So the location's great. I like to think that like now I could say it like in retrospect is like opening as crazy as it was when we did, the timing couldn't have been more perfect with how it turned into what we are now. Yeah.
Right.
Whether it be like, you know, the influx of all like the backlog of appointments and all the people, like everybody wanted tattoos, bro. Everyone's like, yo, open up the back of the shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I think because it was like the perfect like storm, I think, at least for me personally, and like, you know, maybe the shop in general and the way we kind of formatted how we do what we do now, and it works. But like, I think it wouldn't have been the same if, you know, we didn't have that fucking, all that, the COVID stuff kind of like make us redirect, like, how are we going to do this and be successful and like,
yeah,
you know, and pay the bills and pay the bills at home. So
that makes sense.
It's
so
very,
how do you guys balance? Yeah.
So like everything was like, it was a whirlwind of like either emotions or just like anxieties. And, but like looking back, it's like, it actually was pretty perfect for me personally. Right. For all of us. Sorry.
How do you guys balance the time? Because you said, you know, you mentioned in the beginning, you're saying you tell your artists they show up if you want to, if not, as long as, you know, you just take care of business, right?
Yep.
So you guys aren't 7 days a week anymore. Like personally, you guys are not. How do you structure your schedule? Because I know when we're trying to set it up, you were like, I could take these days and these days. I mean, it's unheard of now. We can do like a weekend off if we choose. When back in the day, that was like, dude, you better show up Saturday.
I feel like one of our artists right now is doing a guest spot at a different shop. They did a guest spot in a different shop like a month ago. Like, that's cool. Like,
right.
Do you, boo-boo?
Yeah. So like what days do you guys go in? Like, how do you, or is it, you guys are both obvious?
We are open 7 days, but it's like,
okay.
Not all of us are here 7 days. Like, the days that like I'm off Sunday, Monday, Shane's here Sunday, Monday.
Gotcha.
There were only shops around here. One of the few shops around here that are open on Mondays.
Yeah. Like he's off Friday, Saturday most of the time.
Yeah.
And then it's just someone's always here. You know.
Yeah, we have enough people to you know get by.
Yeah.
But then you know there's days that we're all here, and it's awesome, especially when everyone's got a client in here.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
yeah. But like, having a certain amount of people here each day of the week, it works. Everyone's schedule works now. So
perfect.
Again, like you want to do a guest spot, we got plenty of room and time for you to do.
Yep. Absolutely, dude. I'm gonna for sure. That's in the future plans. Like you mentioned, the last minute cancels, and it does get frustrating because we're trying to make it count. If you're clocking into the shop, you're making that time count. You're not just there like it used to be where you're just fiddling your thumbs waiting for that walk in, trying to draw people in. Now it's more so like, okay, the time that I spend at the shop, I make that time count to the fullest.
Yes.
To the tattoo that I'm doing, to, you know, setting up and then I'll set up. But if I have 15 minutes to work on booking, I will take that 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll be here from, let's say, noon to 10 sometimes, or noon to 4, but I clock out, and then you clock into this whole like to your house duties, you know.
That's my joke. I always say, okay guys, I'm going home to my second job now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go clock in. Yeah.
Like I have 3 kids. I have a 4-year-old and then twins that are 18 months. So
oh, nice.
I I got a lot on my plate at home, and it's like I am definitely blessed and spoiled that I get to come and go as I please here. Because like if I was at a different shop that was really strict, I would go in and be twiddling my thumbs for 4 or 5 hours and just be thinking like, shit, man, I could be spending this time with my fucking kids, you know, like
that lays heavy sometimes, man.
especially like early on in their lives, like that's important to put that time in. Yeah.
Or like go home with nothing, you know?
Yeah, it might be the only thing that kept me from being like a workhorse to like, you know, I'll always be a workhorse.
Dude, we used to have to like yell at him to fucking stop coming in 7 days a week. We're like, you need to take a fucking break, dude. Chill out.
I love my wife. I do, but like she's an expensive wife, so it's like she's not gonna make me, you know. But having my son, you know, it's like, yeah, dude, like, yeah, we gotta be. I got bedtime. I'm gonna go cuddle my 5-year-old. So, and that's great. You know what I mean? It keeps me like, you know, oh yeah, there is life outside of tattooing because that's all I did so many years.
Right.
Also, speaking of that, I do have to go. I got to go get my kid.
Well, before you leave, give us your like where people can get a hold of you, and we'll just finish the rest of it with Shane here. Yeah, give us like where people can contact you, go check out your work.
It's just BMOCK tattoo on everything, Instagram, TikTok. I think soon we're going to be doing a little thing here for YouTube.
Cool.
That's still in the works. We might have some bands do some sets and stuff.
Sick. Yeah, that'd be dope.
6 sets. But we're working that out.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming in for the amount of time and then kind of let Shane take the reins, but
yeah,
appreciate it, man. Thanks, Brian.
I really appreciate it. It was nice to meet you.
Yeah, we'll stay in contact, man. I'm sure I'll see you someday soon for sure. All right. So Shane. No. So what are you doing outside of shop right now as far as like the hobby side of things, that decompression,
it's crazy being middle-aged, bud. Like COVID helped me remember that I loved fishing.
Oh, for sure.
Fishing and kayaking, on a kayak. So I had to social distance, and I was like, oh yeah, my parents loved doing it and always did it with either one of them when I was younger.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I lost them both in the last couple of years. So it's kind of keeping them alive too, but it is definitely like decompressing. It's just like if I'm out by myself and just put my headphones on and just like, you know, not catch something all day. That's fun. And I find like, I think you can agree with me on this. Like, I find legitimate joy in whatever my son wants to do. Like if I take him out I don't take him to like a park, take him to the mall, whatever. Like that's enough for me. Seeing him.
How old's your son now?
He'll be 5 in August. What
does he think about this tattoo life?
He thinks. I mean, it's so weird to think that he only knows Daddy as this guy with a bunch of tattoos since he's been in this world. But he's old enough now. I've brought him to work a couple times for shorter days. Yeah, he gets a stencil on him. He loves it. You know, he shows it off to all his girlfriends at daycare. And
nice.
He's starting to draw on his own. I don't ever like force that kind of stuff.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, do what you want, but he's drawing and coloring in on his own accord, and man, it makes my heart so full. So, like, I think I'm gonna have at least a little bit of an artistic outlet in time to come. So, I think that's really rad, and it's like it makes me proud either way. But the fact that he's drawing and coloring stuff in, it's like hell yeah. It's my man.
How did that change your motive and this whole projection of life or purpose before he was born? Like, what was your drive? Were you just trying to get the bag and then? Trying to like
be busy, get my name out there, keep the money coming in, and try to like better my craft and like I guess like just physically being better at tattooing and being more busy at tattooing. I guess like money, you know what I mean? Obviously, the one thing I say about since I became a father, and this goes in every facet of my life personally, is it's not about me anymore, and I fucking love that. You know,
right?
About like my money worries, not about my worries about myself physically, whatever mentally. It's like it's all about him, and I'm my best self because I'm worried about him. So that helps a lot. My perspective is like, yeah, dude, like I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna do what I have to do, so I can go home and have a better life with him out there. So it's definitely a hustle kind of mentality, but not for the better reasons now at this point in my life. So
that's awesome, dude.
Changed my perspective on like, you know, like just being 7 days a week, you know,
But so then at home also you make that time count, right? Like we were saying about the shop, when you're home, it's not like you could go home and sit and draw flash, paint flash. Like you mentioned earlier, you were like, dude, I don't know how he does it. I don't got the motivation. Yeah.
I do. I'm so old school. Like I keep a physical book at work. Yeah. And I'll write in my appointments. I'll write all my information. I do my email. I'll do Instagram. Sometimes I'll do Facebook. And when I go home, like the book stays at work. So I'll come in early. You know what I mean? I come in like an hour or two early to get some drawing stuff done, get some booking and email stuff done. But I mean, like from 12 to I would say like 6 or 7, maybe 8 sometimes. I'm here and I'm invested in everything I'm doing. But as soon as I go home, everything at work, for me personally, I turn that off until I'm back in the building. And I mean, like sometimes it could be a little bit frustrating, maybe on my client's end, but like the people who keep coming back understand that. And right now, like I have a client, she runs like a Cosmoprof, and like we're sitting there booking appointments. She pulls out her little book. I pull out my book. I'm like, dude, we're old, but it works for us. And like I say, it works for me until it doesn't work anymore. I'll do all my booking online and stuff. But like right now,
dude, I still have like receipt and invoice books, just in case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have all these softwares and stuff, but I'm like, dude, I'm so OG, man, that I'm like, I'll damn near write everything out, like ledgers. You know what I mean? Like I do all that myself.
I love that.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah, I mean, it works. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a lot of me that's progressing. Like I do all my art and all my prep on an iPad. I mean, I can't live without it now. So I am with the times with the stuff that makes my life a little bit easier. But personally, the booking stuff, like I'll give 110% while I'm in here. But then I have to, for me, for the way my brain works or doesn't work, I leave that here when it's time to go home to my family.
Right. When did you get? When did you?
Tomorrow at 12.
Yeah, right. When did you start focusing on like the whole health, like taking care of yourself and like trying to hit the gym hard and really get on like this like a weight loss journey and to making that like a lifestyle? Because I remember you started getting into like that whole like, dude, I need to start. I guess this was, I didn't put it in the notes, but I definitely wanted to hit it because our backs, we need to strengthen our backs.
Yeah, never had it.
Stretch. Yeah,
and it's the worst my back's ever been. Yeah, that's a big part of it, bud. It's a big part of it. Like a lot of it was becoming a dad and like a little bit of an older dad. I was 36, 37 when he was born.
Sure.
And like, not in the worst shape, but I had my ebbs and flows with my weight. I think when I was probably the end of my teens and my early 20s, I was a better part of almost 300 pounds. Yeah. So, and before I was a tattoo artist. So,
which is wild to think, dude, because
and dude, like, anybody who does tattoos and is definitely a little bit older can tell you, man, you want to get a nice belly on, you just be a tattoo artist.
Absolutely.
And drawing and sitting down all day. So you
sit all day.
And at this age in general, but let alone with what we do. And I'm a dad, dude. Like I want to like be able to throw my kid around and play wrestling.
Right. Keep up with the kiddos. Right.
Yeah. I used to go to the gym to look good. I don't know if I want to. I don't care about that anymore. I just care about that.
You just want to like be healthy, right? And make sure everything's in check.
Have a little bit of self-esteem. Have my wife like me a little bit. So.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I love that. What's in store for the shop? Like, so you guys are planning to do the YouTube. What is it? You guys have the space to throw like a little indoor show kind of thing, or?
Yes and no. If it's like something really chill later on at night and like like an acoustic type of deal, nothing too crazy or rowdy, I think we can. There is a local venue not far from here. It's like a I want to say distillery, like with where they do beer and stuff, but like they have shows and stuff there. A brewery, yeah. And a good friend of mine who, when I was in a band many years ago, was the guy who recorded us and stuff. Well, he's like the sound engineer at this venue now, one of the owners. So I'm trying to get in cahoots with them and at least try to do like a 5-year anniversary. Like, and we have so many friends in bands anyway. Get shows, maybe a raffle, like some do stuff back to give back to all the people that supported us since we've opened, and just having a really good time with that. I'm just trying to get that the ball rolling with that, because if it does work out, it'll be like at the end of the summer, like early fall, that'll officially with our anniversary, and if we start like planning it now, trying to make that happen. If not, we'll make something work where we have like a customer appreciation 5-year anniversary thing. But dude, if we could have like bands and stuff, that'd be so
sick. Especially if you do like an acoustic set of something and like have a few bands lined up for that, and then just kind of have like a hangout night,
Yeah, we wanted to do something a little bit more public, like official, like opening when we did open, like maybe like food trucks, like stuff out. It was a huge parking lot in the shopping center, but with the COVID restrictions and then literally being very like busy, it never worked out. And then like 1 year turned into 2 and into 3, so on and so forth. So now like the 5-year anniversary, it's a big deal like for us to say we've done this for 5 years, but like as a business, we
Right.
got past are we going to make this year's? So like, I definitely want to do something big, and we're in the process of like starting to plan stuff out. But at the worst case scenario, we'll do like a big like thing here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's just kind of feels like yesterday we just opened a dozen.
Yeah, time flies, dude. I've ever since the year started, man, it feels like time is just like going. Especially when I had this conversation with my wife when I tell her like it's different when you can see your month. You know what you're doing all month, or you know what you're doing for these days or the week, right? And you're just like, the time just flies so quick. It's wild,
You look forward to stuff, and like a lot of it to do with my family and my young son. Oh, we're gonna do this day, or we're gonna take him to the zoo this day, and it's like you blink, and it's like our 5th time in the aquarium now. He's like above my belly button. It's like time does not slow down when you become a parent. It's like a very crazy reminder how much faster it gets the older you get.
right?
And I wouldn't change it for the world, but you gotta soak it in as much as you can. Again, that's like one reason. Like if you're like a younger tattooer or something, and you're starting your family or whatever, that's in the books. Man, like get your hustle on while you can, but like don't burn yourself out, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Burnout is a real thing.
That mentality, and then you want to start a family. I don't think it'll work. You gotta sacrifice or just come to a meet somewhere in the middle with that stuff, because that's one thing I always did was like worry about just staying busy. Now it's just like get busy. I gotta watch my kid grow up. So
what keeps you locked in as far as like when life gets shaky, right? When life gets shaky and I don't want to say you veer off, but you steer away from that, keeping it together.
Yeah, dude, we're artists. We're the worst, dude. All of us, dude. Like mentally, like that's why we do our art, right? But yeah, I mean, being immersed in what you do, physically, I like to say physically tattooing somebody, the attention I'm putting into it, and how I have no gauge of time or whatever, that just shuts everything off that might be going on. And then, like, honestly, like just the back and forth, like I was saying earlier, like you're not going to have it with every client, but like if you put yourself out there, you'll have more than you'll expect. And that's awesome. That really helps a lot of this stuff. Like, I mean, like, dude, this is my happy place, but I'm making money, which is rad. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, like, yeah, I think like I don't think everybody has the same outlook on how they do what they do when it comes to tattooing, but man, that does it for me, dude. Like, I don't have many answers, but like, quiet those voices for a little bit and do a cool tattoo and make some money. I think that's pretty cool.
Right, absolutely. You guys played in a band. What kind of, was it like the punk hardcore kind of thing, or?
I was in my 20s. I was a kid. We're doing like more of like a pop punky type of sound.
Oh, dope.
And I sang. I squeaked.
Nice. My boys got pipes. Yeah.
Brian, he's not here no more, so I can like talk good about him behind his back, but very, very talented musician. And he does it all. I think he's sang in bands. He's played guitar, bass, keyboards. He's in 2 bands now. He's in if anybody wants to check him out, he's in a hardcore band called No Funeral. Okay. And he's a pop punk band called The Great American Typewriter, which they're my friends. Yeah. I'm supposed to say that, but like the Great American Typewriter is a really good, really catchy band if you guys want to check that out. The other band's cool. Yeah.
So you guys are making a band together, or like currently, or was it?
No, I mean, we always like bullshit about doing like a Saves the Day or Get Up Kids cover band just to have fun with it, but it just never really worked. I'm gonna get on about the Saves the Day cover band, but it's just never, especially now that we're both parents and stuff. And he's already in like 45 bands with 35 kids. But I always wanted to collab with him with that music, like, cause he's like the type of dude like you'll listen to any genre of music and he'll be like, like, oh, this is that dude's in this band, and he could like hear the song 3 times and play it and stuff. So like, he's a very like that. I think other than tattooing, that's probably his outlet. Like,
right, the outlet
stuff. So
Yeah, that's
More
so
of
sick, dude.
I am. I just wanted to sing in a band and get girls when I was a kid.
At your shop, who are all the artists?
The four corners, the four horsemen, if you will, that own the place. Myself, Shane B Tattoos, all one word. Brian, which is B Mock Tattoo. We have our good friend and co-owner Keith K Subsic on Instagram, and then Sue Garcia. She deals with all those dudes at a girl named Sue on Instagram.
Okay.
You go with Through Being Cool Instagram. It has all of our links. We have Kelsey Kool-Aid.
Kelsey Kool-Aid.
And we have Sarah, which she's got the best Instagram name ever. It's Soft Stabbin' Sarah on Instagram. And we have Olive, who's out for a little bit, but their Instagram is Weeping Olive.
Okay.
All the links are on the Through Being Cool page. But yeah, I usually have the card with my personal information, but like when I give out cards outside of here, we have like the Through Being Cool card, and it's got our Instagram, and Instagram like it showcases all of our stuff, obviously, but it has all the individual links for everybody's Instagram, so I don't mess them up, the spelling and stuff. So.
Yeah, no, I'll make sure I'll put it all in. Did you ever, when you were younger, maybe a previous shop, did you ever go to places and specifically promote cards, like push cards and flyers just to try to get like walk-ins and like promotional things?
Yeah, I remember being hungry. Yeah.
Are you guys doing that or now, or is just a lot of that slowed down? Like as far as you don't have to, right?
Bag, and I have a brick of cards in there, and I do give them out here and there. I'm lucky enough to have a little bit of a local following where some people do already know me and stuff, but I always have them cards ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't like go out of my way to like find spots, like maybe at my gym or bulletin board somewhere. But at the most part, like we're definitely lucky with this era of social media where you want to see my work, look at your phone real quick. You know what I mean?
Just pop it up, right?
It helps us be a little bit more lazy when it comes to like the promotion or having physical cards and stuff, and having to do a little bit of work to see somebody's work.
It's cool to see you guys are all pretty active on keeping that relevant too, with the whole social media, posting for the shop, things like that.
Yeah. It's funny, is like I see people like stress out about like, oh man, I got to make reels now to appeal to people, and it's like, well, like don't take it serious. Like we have a lot of fun with it, and it's helped us a lot. Like if we got time and there's a bunch of us here, we'll film something funny. We'll maybe do like a showcase video, but like most of the time we'll do like some dumb funny videos. I mean, I guess traction, dude. I've had people walk in and be like, I don't know how any of you guys tattoo, but I saw that video of you throwing a box at that girl's head, and you're the shop for me. I'm like, all right, dude, like, come on in, work, but you know what I mean? So it's like, we don't want to fucking be like crazy content makers, but we also don't take it serious where we feel like we have to. We just have fun doing it when we do it.
Having fun. I feel like that's been your guys' underlying like motive is a fun shop, having fun.
Yeah, it does come organically, dude, when everyone likes it here and everybody wants to be here, and we're on the same page. Like more often, I don't think I have any memories of any kind of hardcore any disagreements when it comes to this. So, and that's
overall, it's been a really good like journey for you, huh?
Yeah, I remember when Kelsey first started. She came from a shop where she would work like super late.
Yeah.
We don't do that here, and it was a little bit hard to get accustomed to that. And now that she's a mom, I think it's probably the best thing in the world. But like she doesn't like work her butt off for somebody else all these hours of the night. So, but I get used to it. That's like we're pretty relaxed. But like it's an open shopping center, but you're not going to close the shop by yourself at 12 o'clock at night. I wouldn't want that on people.
On anyone, yeah.
Yeah, and somebody like on my, your family now, so you don't do that.
Right.
But it wasn't even a disagreement. She had to unlearn that and realize that like to utilize whatever time she has better, and it's better. It works with her family life now. So for
sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Like little stuff like that. It's like, yeah, dude, like we're cool. Just this is the two rules.
Right. That's rad, dude. I wish I was gonna ask Brian the same thing, but I guess kind of like put everything with a bow, just with time and all. But through all the things you've been through all these like wild journey, right, that you've been through up to this point, what would be something that you took from everything if someone were to ask you for advice? Not like, because I know you mentioned like the younger tattooer advice, but what would be something that you would kind of like to reflect on and just being like, or take a step back and kind of, you know, say this has been something that I've learned in life up to this moment? Because I know we talked about like being that this generation and like the middle-aged shop or whatever. It's like, what would you say summing all that up?
I feel like it'd be advice to anybody, if somebody who's been tattooing a few years or like wants to get into tattooing, which is like, but there's enough of us, but I'm also like, yeah, do it, whatever. But it's like, I was a union steelworker for 8 years before I chased this dream.
Right.
I just never took no for an answer. I never settled, and I never stopped drawing. I never stopped trying to better myself. I never stopped trying to like be pigeonholed in one style or one thing to do. It's tried to keep an open mind on what I was doing, how I was doing it, and then as I evolved as a person, not so much as an artist, that as well, but like just the the back and forth with the people. You're dealing with humans,
Sure. Yep.
people with emotions, people with stories, people that are coming to you for a reason. So never take that for granted. Like it is a job and it is an extension of what you're doing, but it's also like, dude, like you're gonna get something cool by somebody else too. So like if they're coming to you, take it as serious as you should. You know,
Yeah.
respect for it. Have respect for putting the work in and the time in, and really, just anything that and nothing worth having comes easy. So like,
I think that's awesome, and that also reflects on what's kept you in business for so long and what's kept that following and why people seek you out is because of that. Almost like that's like your code, and I think that's what's really showed the proof in the pudding kind of thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's
I
dope.
I'm not a very confident person, but I do know that like that's all I do now. I've always worked for whatever I had. I've always been something. As we evolve, whoever we're going to be for the rest of our lives. You know what I mean? Like, you want to do this, just like take it in for what it is. It's not a trend. It's not like I want to be cool and do cool tattoos. That's not going to be cool forever, dude.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's going to be on to the next thing with everybody. So I mean, like, take it serious and like really give it 100%. Like, it's easier said than done, but it'll pay off if you don't fucking stop.
Right. And that's what's cool, because I feel like that also does show that the imposter syndrome only goes, with that whole identity issue. But no matter what, like, you're just your own character, your persona is just a solid, stay true individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
with that PMA, yeah.
I can talk about this. Like, I don't like. I'm not the best well-spoken person. I'm just like, how do I? But like when it comes to like talking about stuff, like, oh man, like,
you're passionate.
Where I came from, yeah, like it's more organic. Like I was like definitely more nervous than I think I needed to be. And then again, like Brian, like he's a pretty well-spoken person, and you would do this with me, so like I don't feel like I'm tripping over my own words because I'm like that
not at all.
Public speaker that stutters. You know what I mean?
No,
so
yeah,
no,
I get it.
It's definitely like it's really nice to even like to reflect on some stuff that like I haven't been asked like either ever or in a really long time.
Yeah, exactly.
You've been tattooing for a while too, and you're just like, yeah, this is where I came from, or this is how life was before I had like a little bit of success in this little corner of this world. You know what I mean? And it's nice to think about that.
It is, because it's like you had one path, and then you kind of took a reset and a deep dive into this, and kind of found this calling, and look what it, you know what I mean? Look what came from it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, like I was working 7 days a week unloading steel ships off the river, like not far from where this shop is.
Wow.
And is this what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life? You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing wrong with hard work, but like having old dudes at the shop or at the port being like, I mean, you draw. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're better than this. Get out of here.
Right.
And then I was.
That's dope, man. Yeah, that's cool. And I'm just really glad to see that, you guys are just such a chill vibe there, it seems, and that mindset and the way your guys' system is organized. It's a refreshing thing to hear.
It doesn't work for everybody, bro. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? And I think the reason why it works so good here is because it's never something where like, is this working? We're just riding the wave and just getting better. So it's like what we're doing, so it's working for us and it's working really well.
Right.
So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. stuff.
Yeah. That's sick, dude. Well, give us the shop at IG. Go ahead and plug that in before we head out, and then we'll.
Please give us a follow. Some funny reels, but we have some dope tattoos too. At Ruby and Cool Tattoo. And then it's the same thing on that's Instagram. It's the same thing on TikTok. We make a lot of funny videos on TikTok, and both of them have all of our individual. If we're on TikTok, our individual links there. But Instagram's our go-to. It's our bread and butter. It's our main portfolios. It's the easiest thing for us to update for our work we do every day, every week.
All the current, yeah.
Yeah, and then show us some love, give us some likes if you like what we do, please.
That's rad, man.
We'll be forever humble for it. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. It's been so cool just to see that you're able to take a sit and think about, because I know you guys are all focused on the now, the present, and what's to come, and being prepared or whatever. But just really cool to sit down and really get that, pick your brain on all this, and to have another peer just kind of sit down and just tell us about your area. And this isn't even representing the surrounding area where you are. It's just your own personal experiences, through your lens. So this has been a very cool insight to just have learned something new. I mean, you guys educated me with a bunch, because I literally don't know anything about, just from things that I've heard being at these conventions. Yeah. I don't know what it's like there.
Suburbs are so different, bud. They're so different. We're 20 minutes away, but it's a whole other lifestyle.
Well, I appreciate you, Shane, and Brian. He's going to be watching this later. Thank you guys for making the time to get on the project and everything. So make sure to go ahead and check out the links, and we will have a link to all your guys' work in your shop. Thank you for those listening to the end. Also, it's been really cool just to hear all that insight on your guys' shop. That's been pretty dope. And you as a person, man, you've been such a cool homie. And I believe I want to say it's 2014 when that Philly show. So it's quite some time. It was like 2015, somewhere around there. That's quite some time.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I'll make it a pact to kind of go out there too, man. We got to plan something.
Oh yeah, man. Stay around the cities and take it to a show or something.
Hell yeah, dude. That'd be so sick to go out there and just mosh it.
It's crazy. My moshing days might be over, but.
Right. I don't know what I would do, man, to get in a pit anymore. I'd just be like, I think about it, but now I'm like that guy in the balcony now.
Yeah, like these things make us too much money.
Yeah, I'm like tucking this in the back. Yeah, right.
This is one thing I tell everybody now. It's like I'm not mad anymore. Like I'll listen to that.
Yeah, I don't got anger anymore. Yeah. I worked out my trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no reason to fight invisible ninjas anymore, man. I'm too happy.
It's funny to see all that, like all the memes and stuff. You see like the hardcore kids and like the punk kids and the circle pits and the things like that. It's fun to see that. But yeah, most definitely we'll probably break in there now.
Yeah, dude. These they can't, they crack when I'm just tattooing, dude.
Right. That's funny, dude. This has been rad, man. Thanks again, Shane, and to you in the shop. Thanks for making the time.
Cross promote for you as well, man.
It's cool, man. A lot of your clients will hear the story that I'm sure some might not even know. It's like peel back the curtain on.
To have like a way, like I'm sure people want to know. It's like you get lost in your own head. Like, who wants to know about my story? You know what I mean? But
there's a lot of things to overcame, and
Yeah, man.
That's rad, man. Well, thanks everybody. Appreciate y'all.
And
this has been Tattooing Out Loud. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, and check out the shop. Appreciate you, Shane. All the boys in the East Coast. We'll see y'all soon, hopefully.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I'll keep you posted, man.
All right. Take it easy, brother.
Thanks.